Now, this is a worldwide problem, right?
Yeah.
But of course, in this paper, Cosmo today, they're highlighting the ones in India, whereby, of course, the brand new socio-economical situation has caused the younger generation to actually, go for gold.
Go for gold and abandon parents. Or literally just, put them aside.
Go for gold and go away from parents.
Go away, yes.
Yeah,
it's becoming a major phenomenon. I think it's around the globe, it's becoming a major phenomenon. That's what's up on your screens right now. Nasi Warga Emas India.
And of course, some depressing pictures.
Yep, very sad pictures indeed. Steve and I was at this event about a week ago, and it was to care for the old folks home of a certain particular home in Kajang. And I must say that they were very forlorn faces there. It really broke my heart to see those people. It was beautiful that they were actually giving back to society during a festive period to the old folks home, but it was very sad to see these old folks, probably parents of people out there who are just sitting there on wheelchairs and on chairs and just enjoying it while they're just on their own. It felt really sad.
Heartbreaking.
Very, very heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So Malaysia, yes, today we are going to talk about filial piety. We're going to talk about what can you do for your parents. They have given you much. What can you do for them to give them back what they have given you and made you who you are right now? So let's talk to our guest in the studios. We've got Murshidah Said, who's a motivator, to tell us about where is the love.
Hi, very good morning. Happy New Year.
Welcome back, Murshidah. It's been a while since we've seen you.
Yeah.
So let's start this off. Now, you were quite, you were quite strong in terms of talking about filial piety, before we got on. Let's start it with that. Now, do you think that filial piety is something of the past, that it's no longer, something that's being practiced? Yes.
Yeah. Well, if you look into the Malaysian culture right now, we're a diverse group of people, Filial piety is already embedded in the Chinese culture, in the Buddhist culture, in the Taoist culture, in Islam and the Muslim culture, and the Malay culture as well. You are asked to, obey your parents, be kind to your parents. Heaven is at your mother's feet. Christianity, obey your parents. Hinduism, also respect your parents. And it's all in our society. So what happened along the way? That we actually go against the culture, and this, if you look at history and if you look at a lot of cultural developments, I remember this. My grandmother, when she was still alive, she used to tell me that her mother thought her generation was getting worse and worse, and then she told me that, she thought her younger generation is getting worse and worse, and everybody's blaming the younger generation. What is happening? Why are they doing this? Why are they leaving their parents? Why are the younger generation so rude? Not like us, we used to listen to our parents. And this happened more than how many years back, in the 20s already, 1920s.
I remember that.
Right. So every generation, people are blaming the next generation.
That's right.
What is happening? Now, where I stand, it is, if we want to improve our future, if we see what is happening in the state of the world right now, what is happening in our society right now, it is time to take action now. It is no point for us to blame, these people are doing this, and we blame them. It is what can we do now to improve our situation, all right? And if we look into the past and the developments of our socio-economic developments, right, from the industrial age, where people are a lot focusing on economy, a lot focusing on materialism. Success is defined by how much money you make, right? And why things are happening right now? If you see children are not respecting their parents, it is what they have been conditioned, what they have been programmed, what they have been educated since they were small, and what they saw and what they thought was right. We'll discuss several aspects of this. Some children see it's okay to leave their parents behind, or leave them at old folks home, like what you said. You visited the old folks home. It's probably when they were growing up, their parents were also very busy and left them with other caretakers, and they saw their parents treat their grandparents the same way, like leave them behind while they were busy doing their work. And when these parents grow old, right, their children take on that role of being busy, having to take care of their own children, and now with rising costs and everybody's blaming the economy, the costs and medical costs and everything, so they say I have no choice. I have no choice, and I have to leave my parents there. Who's going to take care of them? That's the best they can do, right? So this is what happens now, right? If we look at this from the developments, the socio-economic developments of the past, this could have been led to where it is now. Any problem that is happening now in the state of the world is what we have done in the past that caused things to happen now. So if we want for things to be better, it is the change that we need to do now, right? So that in the future it will not happen to us, because we're going to be senior citizens.
That's true.
We don't know how the cost is going to be like.
Scary thought, yes.
Exactly. So the development is on what kind of values are we teaching our children right now. So that's why when spirituality, when morality or ethics is taken out of what is important in life, right? And people start focusing on materialism and focusing on things like, you got to make money in order to be successful, your image and all that is all on the physical, and this is what happens. So it is important for us to instill ethics and morality and religious knowledge, spirituality at a very, very early start right now.
Right. Malaysia, we're seeing some of the clips from the papers that we've picked up on your screens, but meanwhile we'd like to call upon all of you to give us a call if you can, or give us a comment. 2282-9062, 2282-3043. Anything you want to share, a story or two or an incident, please do feel free to call us. We'd love to hear from you. Facebook is open as well for all of you to just, jot down a simple message if you'd like to. Murshidah, just coming back to the question that we had earlier about filial piety. Now, earlier on, Stefan and I were talking about the fact that it's got two ways to it. And the coin, there's two stories to the coin. One is where kids are abandoning their parents these days because of the socioeconomic problem and the fact that it's a rising, it's a fast-paced world right now. But at the same time, there are the cases where the parents actually, some of them actually want to go to an old folks home. They would like to go to an old folks home, or some of them have, some of the kids they're not able to look after their parents because of certain, diseases or problems or a particular ailment. This is the other story that we have, isn't it?
Again, we cannot openly judge people and say, hey, how can that person dump the parent just like that, We don't know the person's real situation. So there can be a case where it happens where the child maybe has no knowledge or maybe no financial means of supporting the parent, and it's a real issue. It is a real problem. So I will address this as how to best keep the bond between your parents, because this is important to them. I've also interviewed some warga emas, some senior citizens at some shelters as well, and I asked them what is important to them. And contrary to what you have met, where you say you felt you saw a very lonely old people, the place that I went to, which is Warga Prihatin in Kajang also, when I interviewed the people, the old folks, they were very happy. They said they're very comfortable there. They just they feel so much love, right? And I asked them, why are you happy here in this home? And they say, as old people, what do we need? We don't need material things. As long as I have a bed, I have shelter, I have food every day. Most important is I want this, love and respect. I want love. I say kasih sayang. They spoke to me in Malay. They say kasih sayang itu penting. Love is so important to us. When people respect us, that I feel so good. I feel acknowledged. I feel appreciated. And this is the fundamental human needs in everyone. Right? This is what they need. And when we talk about people having to leave their parents in this area, always keep in touch with your parents, keep in touch, make them feel like, you are not there to abandon them. You have to explain to them. Well, we do have a caller online. Let's just welcome Fatima. Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Fatima.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, Annie. Good morning, Murshidah.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. What's your take on the topic, Fatima?
Okay, I actually agree with everything you said, Murshidah, but I would like to add a few things from a different perspective. Okay, it's true that children should care for their parents, but it's also important for us to understand that not all parents are the same. Okay, some parents can be very demanding. They forget that their kids are grown-up adults who don't need, constant nagging and controlling. You have done your responsibilities. Your kids are now grown, matured adults who have their own perception and idea of how life is to be lived. Okay, so parents should also respect that. Controlling children up to the extent of, deciding what's appropriate for them to wear, what is their curfew time, who their friends should be, and blah, 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 it's just going to tear the parent and children bond. But at the same time, not all children who take their parents in to live with them are good, loving, and responsible children. Some people tend to exploit their parents. There are so many people whom I know who treat their parents like, shit. I'm sorry, but that is the right word. The only reason the parents are not sent to old folks' home is because the kids could save money on maid. And so the parents are treated like one. Dad sends and fetches their grandkids from school and tuition and activities and so on, while mom stays home, cooks and cleans and takes care of the household. So where is the quality of life here? And at the age where they should rest and enjoy a peaceful life, they end up scrubbing the toilet and changing their grandkids' diapers.
Ouch.
So in my opinion, the key word here is respect. If parents, children can learn to respect each other and give space to live their respective lives, but still be there for each other, and loving each other, I'm sure the problem between parents and children could definitely be overcome.
Fantastic. Thanks, Fatima. Thank you so much.
I agree with you.
Very
Thanks so
passionate.
much for your
Very passionate indeed.
I love her opinions, and it's true because you cannot just say, the thing is we cannot judge people because we don't know the real situation of certain situations.
We actually have another caller online. It's
right.
fabulous that the phones are buzzing. Hi, good morning.
Just like old days. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning.
Hello. How are you, Tom?
It's been some
Fine, thank you.
Good to hear from you finally.
good old days, huh?
It's good to have you back. We've missed you on the Facebook as well.
Well, I miss you all too.
All right,
I want to say
your take, Tom.
about this topic. So much for successful parenting. Some parents spend their lives saving for their children's education. They send them all over the world to get good education so that they make a good living. Hopefully they can afford to buy a house, to have a special room for them when they grow old so that they can stay together as a family. But instead, they come up with some very educated thoughts. When they come back after education from overseas, they put them in geriatric ward or old folks home and so, or even dump them in some bus stops. That's not good. This is not successful parenting. Part of the reason is parents should today instill the love to their children and remind them, ask them that simple question when they are 5 years old. Ask them, you gonna dump me at an old folks home when I grow old? Same question almost every year. Make them make that commitment to you, to love you.
Okay.
Good idea.
That's my message for today.
Thanks, Tom. Thank you very much. Tom and Fatima have got very good points there.
Good solution.
But it's interesting that Fatima mentioned the other side of the story as well. The fact that there are parents who are also very, very demanding, even to a point like they fail to recognize that the child is now grown up, married, is someone else's wife and husband.
My little boy will always be my little boy.
Have their own kids, exactly. But they fail to see that there's a line to be drawn there. So if that's the case, then Murshidah, what can kids do about parents, who are
where my take is, it's like you cannot change other people, you can only change yourself.
Okay.
So with parents like this, right? It's just it's your mindset whether you want to take on the stress, because sometimes they are very naggy people because that is their conditioning, that is their worldview, and I believe so much in law of attraction. So when you send out good thoughts eventually and you behave well towards your parents, regardless, you don't argue back with an argument, because that will get heated up, or you don't remind like you bring up a negative situation over and over and over again. When you do that, it creates more negativity.
A lot more tension.
So create a lot of love and respect in your own family.
Yep.
And you know, I have actually seen that where the senior people, although it is very challenging, but they do change, they do open up over time, because after all we are all human.
That's true.
Okay, and Fatima just now addressed two issues. One was the Tom mentioned about parent, they call it parent dumping, you know, dump the parent. And then there's another one called parent abuse, which is also another thing, because that, again, you know, when there's no love and respect within that family, you see everybody as a resource. You don't see people as people. There's no love, you know. So you're like, oh, this one still can work. Okay, ask her to sweep the floor, clean the toilet, take care, fetch my daughter. You know. So there is the value. But the thing is, this has somehow, you know, why this is happening, we don't blame and all that kind of thing, because it's already there, it's happening right now. What can we do now to change the situation? Because you know, if we leave it as it is and we complain about it, it's going to get more serious, right? And what we got to do now is we got to instill in the younger generation, in us, on a daily development of personal growth, daily personal growth, daily progress on improving ourselves, instilling love, instilling respect, forgive every time, keep moving towards our purpose. You know, this is what I highly encourage.
Well, you know, it's interesting what Tom mentioned. Tom said that, you know, I think maybe parents should tell the kids, ask the kids, are you going to leave me in an old folks home when you grow old, or when I grow old? Now, well, the one thing is, there are some parents, the best part is, there are some parents who say, please leave me in an old folks home. Don't keep me with you. I have friends there. I don't want to stay with you and your family. Well, that again, there is another story to it.
There's another one I wanted to share just now. Thanks for reminding me, because there are some people who it's part of their retirement plan to have a retirement, to be going to a retirement home. So they actually have savings, they have written a will, they have already, you know, planned when they're going to sell the house, and with that they're going to you know, go to a retirement home with their friends. I mean, it is again a choice. You know, some people have that in them, that they said, oh, I don't want to burden anybody, I'm just going to do this, you know. So
actually, I would do that if I was old. Not to burden anyone and just move on in life.
Guys,
we've actually taken to the streets, haven't we?
Yes, we have a word from a man on the street, or a woman on the street, or man and woman in the showroom. Let's take a look at this.
Take to the public to see what they say.
Young people, the current trend, right, whereby young, capable people actually send the parents to, you know, old folks' home.
But I think it's wrong by sending the old parents to the old folks' home, because they can take care of them and look after them. But if they send it to the old folks' home, it's like they don't care about the parents anymore. So there's no bonding there. So most important is the bonding with the children. So I don't agree with that young executive or whatever it is who send the parents to the old folks home. It is, to me, I look at it, maybe it could be a selfishness of themselves.
What do you think about the trend nowadays where young people actually send their parents to the old folks' home?
Well, I can't believe it, but as for me, I'm not going to send my parents in a million years to old folks' home. But it's very sad to see that people these days, the younger generation, they do so. There's no family values. I think it's more on the trend these days, friends influence. But I think that they should be, they should have a strong mind. They should love their parents, because they should know that because of their parents, they are here.
So what if they say that, you know, we're really busy, we can't give our full attention to them, only the old folks' home can give full attention to the parents. So what kind of remedy do you have for that?
Well, when a child says that they're busy, that means they're earning pretty much a lot of money from what they're doing. So if you earn a lot of money, I think by putting your parents in old folks' home is not a good choice. But getting someone like a good maid, like a good maid to look after your parents while you spend your time at work, chasing your dreams, earning enough money, I'm sure you still have time for your parents, especially when, come on, you only spend like most 10 hours a day in the office, but the rest of your time you have 24 hours a day, you still have time to spend with your parents.
Actually, I think it's morally wrong because parents are the people who brought you to the world, you know, raise you up and make you as a successful person. And at the end of the day, don't do bad things to them. You have to pay back their gratitude. And I don't think that's the best way to send them by sending them to the old folks home.
Okay, good. Thank you. What do you suggest the remedy will be?
I think you should at least keep them in the home, because end of the day, it's like how they raise you up. You have to keep them and take care of them because they need some companion too. So as a child, you keep them at home, give them some company, and that will be fine.
All right, so we heard the opinion of the public. Some of them, most of them say that maybe it's not a good idea to, leave them in abandoned homes or in old folks' homes. But then again, we were talking about how the old folks' home actually asks, our folks actually say, please send me off to
and for example, the home that you've been, everybody's happy there.
Yes, because if you look at that situation, there was nobody to care for them. Their finances were bad, and they have a daughter who's a single mom. So everything is against them if they were on their own. But staying in a home for them or a shelter, it was a lot more peaceful. It was like a
get together with friends.
A lot of friends, so much love, and companionship, and that's what people want, right? And we were also discussing about caring for your parents. Sometimes some parents, they have some kind of diseases or some ailments that require professional assistance or professional help, which the child may not be able to handle, or the parent may not be handle, or does not have the ability to care for the parent. Now this is also another situation where it would also be good if the parent is cared by somebody who is more professional or be able to take on the role of a professional to handle the medical problem. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I mean, we're looking at what's on screen right now. It looks really sad, as what we noticed. But like we mentioned earlier, some of these people actually want to be in certain homes because of the fact that they have people of like mind, of same age, where they can actually talk to, and people who are able to interact with them at the same level.
Yes, and the most important is people want to be loved. People want to be respected. And even if you say, oh, I take care of my parent at home, like some people say, oh, I'm so good, I take care of my parent at home. But you leave the parent all day alone with nobody at home, and you do not talk to the parent, you don't make the person feel loved, you don't make the person feel respected. It also is pointless, because most people, what they want is they want to be respected, they want to be acknowledged, right? So be grateful for your parents, and if you really cannot care for them, get a professional. Like there's a lot of hospice out there who can assist for special ailments or special diseases that can care, but to make sure to never lose that bond, always keep in touch, go visit as often as possible, call them. Now there's no excuse for people not to call, because there's Skype, there's telephone, there's everything there, SMS at least, so these are the things that you can do.
Fantastic. All right. Well, Murshidah, thank you so much for joining us this morning and enlightening us on this. And it's always great to have you and listening to your opinions. I mean, it's I know a lot of people out there, this is a very passionate topic. A quick note to all of you, there is Hospice Malaysia that provides free hospice care. Yes, there is free hospice care in Malaysia, so you can actually get in touch with Hospice Malaysia. Probably they would be the people who can actually come to your homes, or you can take your parents to them and you can actually give them proper professional care. Now, for Hospice Malaysia, you can actually go into their website, or you can go to hati.org.my, which is another website that highlights some certain NGOs and certain caregivers that actually are able to assist you. Moving on, of course.
That's right, of course. If you guys happen to be leaving your parents at home while you are at work, here are some suggestions for you. You can leave them at a Tai Chi club, or you can leave them with some society of some sort.
Enroll them in a club, that's a good idea.
Enroll them in a club so that they have friends around them, they make new friends. It could also be even Mahjong club or something. Seriously.
As long as it's somebody they can talk to.
It works the mind, man. It works the mind, right? But anyway, we have Azaria also. That's going to be...
Baby, you look so cute. Well, let's take it together with Azaria. Take it away.